What's going on? It's Justeeni here. This is the IMO World Championship qualifiers. I decided to play in them. This time I actually did have time to play in the semis and finals. This is not the semis or finals though. This is the quarterfinals. If you want to see the games before the quarterfinals, you can. They're in the description. I'm not going to show them here because I think they're pretty uneventful. They're very one-sided. So we're in the quarterfinals and we are against Aravan, aka Witherman. The competition already very tough. So let's just kind of get right into things with this one. So again, it's small lakes, IMO, best of 3. I've got the host advantage this time around. And things start off not so well. I'm just losing my village here, but I go for riding, trying to be very aggressive. Getting this siege kind of forces them to make an awkward defense, and I can get hunting on turn 4 anyway. But they do get the defense. I can make some units. I send my rider here. I'm hoping that there's like some ruins or villages back here. And now I go climbing because I just can't really find villages. Maybe I should have gone like up here, but I see this village here and I don't want them to have it. So I'm trying to fight for this. I'm able to use my Mindbender pretty well here. If they just keep spamming warriors, they wouldn't be able to stop me, but the riders come in, and I am actually just down a city. This rider was completely useless and did nothing. And yeah, I get vision. Actually, I'm not down a city yet, but I will be down soon. Multiple cities, especially as I'm getting siege. They're up a ton of economy, which is just very rough here. Unfortunately, I'm just losing game 1, but luckily, again, this is best of 3. But I am in a must-win situation now, which does not feel very good. So I have to really lock in with these next games already. Pressure's on, so I'll go ahead and cut to the next match. Alright, next match, this time, not hosting, because that's how it works. And yeah, again, I'm on the back foot here. Really rough spot, but my exploration's at least very straightforward this time. Go for hunting, forestry, doing a chop opener to be very, very aggressive. That's something you always want to consider in these mirrors, especially if your markers aren't very good, which in this case they weren't. My explorer does not end up finding the opponent, but it does narrow things down, and I do get the lighthouse, so it's not too bad in the end. And I can chop for another warrior. I meet their Mindbender, which is pretty bad because this strip of land is very annoying. They're just stealing my warrior. So I have to do something about that. I make a Mindbender to deal with it, and we're just gonna trade conversions there over and over again. I workshop, I could get an explorer, but I don't have climbing, so I didn't want to risk it, and I need the economy anyway. Now I get fishing, climbing, chop for another rider. I've chopped a lot of forests, but hopefully that initiative is worth it. They have a giant somehow. Their expansion was pretty bad because their starting Mindbender kind of just meandered. Skip this village entirely. I've got a lot of vision from lots of explorers, and I am able to get Eye of God on turn 8. And currently I'm up in cities. It's really just this giant and the fact that the city's about to get pressured a ton. But I'm getting a giant of my own, at least soon. My poor Mindbender dies, but it was a noble sacrifice. I got tons of vision. They get vision of this lighthouse, so they're very close to Eye of God, but they don't have a clear shot at it. Now I've got my own giant because I've got the roads. This sort of setup roads makes a lot of sense, but they're starting to pressure a lot, and yeah, they're going to be able to take the city with a giant. So I decide I'm not even gonna unsiege right now. Like, the city is pretty bad anyway. I already got the explorer out of it. And they're going to take it, so like, not really gonna defend. Now they send the giant in, very aggressive, trying to take more cities away from me. Because currently the city count after they take these 2 and I take my 2 will be even. But it won't be that way forever. Getting some more upgrades. Taking advantage of my roads. Send my giant up because it's the only way to stop a siege. Now here, I did notice this raft can indeed walk in here if they get a rammer. And I decided, you know what, go for it. And they do. It's pretty expensive even with Philo to do that sort of play. And they're not going to keep the city forever. I knew like they have to like double monument or something crazy if they actually want to keep the city. And I just don't see that happening. So I kind of played into it. Whether that's actually like the right decision here, I don't know. But I'm getting plenty of development despite me losing the city now. Grand Bazaar going here. And yeah, now they're sending in the Mindbender to try to defend the city in case I re-siege. And now they pressure with this giant, but I do have a plan for defense here. I'm going to counterattack here, but yeah, instead of unsieging, you know, unsieging is kind of boring, kind of basic. We all know unsieges. I'm just going to use a Mindbender trap. They can't capture the city, because if they do, they lose the giant, and I re-siege anyway. So they have to give me it. Now, one thing is I do lose a ton of population by losing all these connections, but again, I'm getting it back, and they don't want to lose the giant, so they're just not going to capture. I get archery here. Archery is going to be very, very interesting. There's a few reasons why I went archery. First off, I want to deal with this Mindbender, and archery is the best way to do that. Second off, I just want to pressure their giants in general, which archery is good for. I don't get defense bonus from force because I chopped all mine, but another benefit to archers is these coastal cities, kind of really this lake in general. Archers are going to be able to poke away at units very effectively here. So that's something I can also take advantage of. Same with like this area as well. Archers can really limit what Arvin can do with his naval units. So archery I felt like was a really good decision here. They go strategy, which does make a lot of sense for them. Trying to be a little defensive. They go for a scary looking Mindbender, possibly setting up a push. And I could play around it, you know. But I decide I'm just going to use a Mindbender to play around it. If they push, then I just convert the giant right back. So they do that and they siege at the same time, trying to be like, you can only convert one, and well, I'm actually kind of fine with that. But now I kill their Mindbender, and yeah, I'm just... Oh yeah, right. I actually don't get the unsiege. I think I had a way of unsieging, if I'm not mistaken. Or no. Maybe, maybe not. I think there was a way if I like didn't kill the Mindbender, I could get the unsiege or whatever. But I decided to just leave it here because it's the same situation as before, right? They can't kill this Mindbender unless they kill with the giant. And if they capture, I just Mindbend their giant. So it's literally the same situation. So I don't have to kill their giant. And if they don't capture, their giant's gonna die. And yeah, they just kill my Mindbender. So that exchange was like kind of weird with like losing my own giant and then getting it back and then letting my city get taken like multiple times, but they just don't take it. Like it was pretty weird. But I kind of like the Mindbender shenanigans. It's always really fun. But I am defending here. Again, keep in mind, this is a must-win. They make another Mindbender here, and I instantly take advantage of that, just getting that siege. And see, I have strategy here as well. This was mostly just to like block things up here, but also potential naval presence, because I do want to get something going in the water. Strategy is very nice for that. I'm also worried about knights, because I am making archers. Strategy is good for that. Now another Mindbender, trying to basically just heal these giants. Now, my archers are starting to be annoying, kind of as I was hoping for. Veteran riders going in the water. I wanted to try and get some naval presence going. They go for scout. Raymer would not work because I have the archer for defense. They're trying to pressure. They've saved some stars, which is concerning. I'm going to be able to take out the giant. Mindbender's getting a lot of value. Archers are getting a ton of value. Ramming. Now I'm starting to get a really good foothold here, but they get ramming in return. Well, they already had ramming, but they have the defender rammers in return. Now I can poke away the Mindbender again, but see, they have a knight this time, so I have to play around the chains. And I do give them a chain, but it's honestly not that good of a chain. Like, this is a 4-unit chain, and 2 of those units are defenders, which they have to hit in additional time. So, like, yeah. And they are spending a whole night to do that. So I just didn't really care that much. Oh, they decided to chain all the way through here, actually. But this also costs an extra hit with the rammer and the scout. So they actually make it a 5-unit chain and can even hit onto this raft. So a little more devastating, but still, I'm kind of just fine with it. My Mindbender's alive, which is what's important. Juggernaut's splashing in. These archers are just amazing. Like, I think archery was like the play of the game with this. If I did not get archery, then I would have probably not done very well. But they're fighting back in the water, sending the giants in. So it's kind of a bit locked on land. They've got the knights, and I've got the defenders and archers. So I'm trying to progress in the water. I get aquatism, trying to really send units in the water. These archers are really ensuring that my ports are very safe as well. And then these ports are obviously very safe also, again, because of my archers. So they just don't have any good breakthroughs, but they go for this bomber here. Big splash value. And because I've been keeping my archers safe, I can't punish this bomber very easily. It's kind of pretty far back. But yeah, they've got this knight here. They just have one knight. Just the threatening presence of a knight is kind of annoying for me. Now, Poprune's okay here. Now I go navigation, collecting the starfish and potential bombers for me in the future. And I'm chipping away their juggernaut. If I can get rid of their juggernauts, then it'll be easy to reach the bombers. They land with this juggernaut though. Unsieged there. They were fishing for a chain, but they just don't have it. They go for another knight. Now I have complete naval dominance up here, thanks to the archers alongside the aquatism, like defender rammers and stuff like that. And now I'm just sieging the city. They have to deal with this. I'm stuffing up the middle here, pressuring their bomber. They have to deal with all these threats at once. And you can kind of see I'm up a lot of units too, like I'm up in score. Suddenly things are starting to look really good for me. I think before it was kind of a mostly even situation, but now I'm starting to outvalue the opponent. Archery is getting so much value. Like it's actually insane how good archery was. Now I'm getting diplomacy and mining. I just have all these extra stars. I don't even know what to spend them on. Cloaks are fine here because this is a good target. But like, it is kind of excessive. Like, I'm taking the city, just absolutely going to town. They keep playing, but there's really not much to play for at this point, if I'm being honest. Like, you're not getting the city back. The city is going to fall, and you'll just be down even more cities. Looks like you have scary amounts of control here, but again, with the archers, you can never get enough control. And I always have 2 safe ports, which you can't do anything about. And so things continue to happen, but I take this city. I'm getting ready to cloak this city. And finally, Arvin throws in the towel, so I go 1-1. I just need to win the next game, and I'll make it to the semis, so I'll go ahead and cut to that. Alright, game 3. Once again, I have host advantage, but my spawn looks a little bit lackluster. And anything can happen with these. Early game can always feel a little RNG, but no early meets, so we're fine. I go with the hunting, and because I'm capturing late, I can go forestry, chop into a warrior, and I'm gonna get an explorer because I see their terrain. So looks like they don't have a great start. They do have potential markets, which are scary. They do have a suburb, and what's really nice about this capital spawn is it's pretty bad for them because you can kind of predict where one of the cities is going to be. It's going to be somewhere here. If they have 2 suburbs, one has to be here because the other is here, and there's no room back here. And I already have my 2 suburbs. Now, they're likely getting their suburb already. They probably have it, in fact. They do, even. I go riding, mostly as a defensive measure, but also grabbing lighthouse, exploring. But what you can already see with the spawn is you can kind of expect there's going to be a big lake over here, and this will be important, most likely. But I'm getting the riders, like I need to make sure I don't lose. And then I can pursue the win condition, which is going to be naval control there. Because if you control the water, you're going to get a lot more cities. Again, if I control the water and Arvin doesn't, he literally just has 3 cities. And that's really, really hard to win with. So if I can just grab fishing and fishing and sailing is all I need to control the water, then get nav for some extra stars. Now they realize the same thing, going for the naval control as well. And again, lots of pressure here, but I get a vet sword ruin. They kind of just back off. I get a star ruin, now sailing into the water, organization, upgrade my city. Can lead into strategy as well, but mostly I just need the extra population. I'm literally pop capped in all my cities. And they're trying to pressure. They go for sailing and ramming just to steal this from me. Very ambitious, but I just double scout. Or no, I don't double scout actually. I just single scout because I want this raft here. And they hit this, which is a mistake here, because this raft is just going on this village. You want to hit the scout here. Yes, you take retaliation, and that does mean that if I get another scout, that'll be able to kill the rammer. But then I still can't stop you from getting... Actually, no. I could stop you from getting the road. Maybe that's why they did that play. I don't think I really agree with it, though. Maybe, I don't know. It's a bit tricky to say. Now, he goes Capital Siege. I can unsiege though. That sword's even advancing, starting to counter pressure. Mindbender's getting its value. But yeah, this is just gonna park here. And with the scout, kind of just guarding things, I'm getting this city. I'm going to F5 because I'm controlling this water. And based on how things are, this is going to be Arvin's final city, just based on the vision of the map. Unless there's something here, which is impossible because there's a ocean tile. This is a very, very low city map. Only 9 in total, and I will have 5, and I've got a very nice foothold in the water, but it looks like, I assume population ruin, he just has a giant now. Stops him from getting on the village right now, but it costs him a scout, and I have another raft ready to go, stepping on the starfish, because I want nav. I could go for the siege, but I decided against it. I think I just didn't want to give them a vet, and if they kill the rider... Oh, that's why it's at 2 out of 3. Yeah, I want to save that rider. It's more valuable than sieging for sure. But if they kill the rider, I'm basically just trading unit for unit, which is better than trading a unit for 3 stars. Now I can get some pew-pews. I go roads. Gets me another upgrade. I'm going to get port connections. That's going to be how I get my giant. Go for Mindbender to be very aggressive and to kind of stuff out their giant. Now, they're making some units, but I'm able to go for this nice cap siege with that veteran rider. Mindbenders are pressuring again. They can do a lot of healing. It's going to stop their giant. Again, I don't have a giant of my own, but it doesn't really matter. Normally, you really need a giant or ranged units. I have neither. I just have Mindbenders because Mindbenders are awesome like that. They go for this kill. This kill, I think they probably just could have avoided entirely, because it puts them in range where I can hit with my warriors or riders. Maybe it's still fine, but I did position my scout there intentionally, so then like if they do kill, I get that benefit, which I am going to take advantage of. Now, Gate of Power is actually the way that I'm getting my giant this time. Now, port connection. Park of Fortune here, because I can place a bunch of ports, which I need to place at least a few to get my like naval. I need a port here, so yeah. My Mindbender dies, very sad. But I'm going to ensure naval dominance, grab the starfish because I wanted to do that. Put the raft here. If they use a rammer to kill, that's great, because they spend a bunch of stars, and if they don't, then I buy nav. So it's kind of a win-win for me. Now they're trying to counterattack here. Again, I am just up a city. They still haven't gone markets. They have a Mindbender, which looks scary, but I just don't put my giant too close, and I'll be fine. Kind of have this standoff with the giants, but with the Mindbender, it's always going to go in my favor, unless they use their Mindbender as well, which is indeed their plan. Now they go cloaks, and cloaks are pretty scary, but I am actually kind of fine here. I just got strategy, and I can kind of stuff out the land, which means it's going to be really hard to find a place for the cloaks to enter, and I have writing anyway, so I'm not even sure if I actually agree with cloaks here. Like, maybe math for more giants again, like math trade. That's probably just better here. Get markets, then spam a bunch of knights. Can't really go for naval control here. You only have like, what, 3 port spots? Yes, 3 port spots. Not very much. and you have to still deal with the land. You would have to like border growth here to even think about getting naval dominance. They go for border growth though, and I could go diplomacy myself now to target that city. It's actually a very easy target. But yeah, we've got this funny little battle there. Another cloak. Now I go chivalry. This is going to be very nice. Threatens chains, which means they can't protect their cloaks as easily, because normally you want to protect the cloaks with zone of control, which usually means grouping your units up together. But with a knight, that kind of just invalidates all of that. They go for some hits. Normally that makes sense. I mean, hitting this rider isn't a big deal though, because I have the Mindbender. Now I can get a nice chain, and I get a lot of information on where the cloak might be. Sure enough, there it is. Go for the cap siege. I don't see a cloak here, so I'm guaranteed no cloaks are invading me. Now this is being sieged. It's kind of over. And I think you guys can tell what happens from this point. They never get their funny cloak connection. They finally get math only now. But I'm able to get another very long grindy game and win things out. So even though I got a little bit unlucky game one, the short-lived loss, able to come back with the reverse sweep with 2 over 20 turn long games, getting it done, putting me in the semifinals, which will be out tomorrow. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Like and sub, and have a good one.